So, with Dragon's Dogma 2 just having plenty of monsters that you just... So yeah, there's gonna be plenty of people who absolutely love the thrill of driving to extinction. I mean, fighting huge monsters. Those same people might love the games that might incorporate fighting giant monsters. And you know, there is Wild Hearts, there is God Eater, there is... Well, those games are great in their own way, right? Nothing can really compete with Australia, also known as Monster Hunter. And you totally may have been asking me, what is Monster Hunter? I could easily say it's a game about fighting monster hunters, duh, but to me, it's more deeper than that. It's a game that just is filled with care and life, a showcase of what nature is truly capable of. A care of a game that pushes to build a relation. Oh, what am I kidding, bro? Grab that giant sword, we're hunting a giant pickle tonight. Let's go. Now, the first step in truly experiencing Monster Hunter. No, what do you mean truth story? What is wrong? No, we gotta choose ourselves a giant weapon. Obviously, you know? So there's 14. All free. Yes, all free. No DLC needed. You get it straight off the bat. And no other AAA companies have hurt you so bad. But you know, these are free. It's okay to enjoy free stuff in games, alright? Fully fledged, no extra cost. Ah, yes, the Great Sword. A really big sword. It's really not hard to miss. If you've missed this, well, you might need to go see a doctor at that point. If you want to deal big boy damage, this weapon is perfect for you. Please note, I am not responsible for any true charge slashes missed. You will miss them. Oh no. Whoa, what? You have a tackle and a block. Use them when necessary. Blocking means, you know, block attacks. Pretty self-explanatory. But it decays your sharpness meter. Tackling gives you super armor. And you can straight up just stun monsters with this. And please, if you're gonna use tackle a lot, have on stun resistance charm. Because you can still get stunned while tackling. You'll probably forget you can block half the time. So you'll just end up tackling through everything in life, and you'll still fail. Overall, Greatsword is an absolute menace. You'll miss half your true charge slashes, but when the other 50% hit, it'll feel all better, and you'll forget that, oh, you missed the other 50%. So, Greatsword is absolute beast of a weapon. So if you wanna use a giant sword, go for it. So, the sword and shield. There's a little, you know, Jamaican saying called "Me little but me talawa," which basically means I might be small, but I am still big. This is the essence of sword and shield. Don't make its look fool you. It can deal damage. It is no fraud, unlike most of the NPCs in this game. Seriously, why do they act like they're doing shit, but I gotta fight the big scary monsters myself here, man? So the sword and shield has a little gimmick to it. You can use things while the weapon is out. Mind you, you might put away the weapon, but shit is so fast, it almost beats you in bed, so you know. There's a bonus to the sword and shield. You see this move right here? This shit is so good at just evading. You can even evade taxes with it. And if you act on backstep, you can launch yourself in the air. You can easily get mounts. Just hit them with this light regular attack. Or straight up shield bash him. You take your shield and you slam it straight down. It is really good for stunning as well. So if you can aim it right, magnificent. Overall, the sword and shield is a great jack of all trades weapon, and it will get the job done. You can channel your inner goblin slayer. Seriously, this dude fought and killed a dragon because it was in his way of fighting goblins. Now, of course, a game where there are giant swords and giant axes. There's a giant bow in the game, go figure. Simply put, the bow is just so fun to use, and it feels so badass to just pull off those dodge shots. Well, yeah, It might drain a hella stamina. It drains your stamina so much, it honestly might compete with how fast gacha games drain your wallet. But to remedy this, just pop a couple constitution on your build and some dash juice and you're good. But also have good aim, because boy, trying to hit headshots only with a fast moving monster and ain't easy at all. Look at you fucking Odogaron and the goddamn Tigrex. The bow has something called casings. Basically, you tip in the arrow, whether it increases your damage with power casings or have poison casings or elemental casings. The bow also has a shotgun, also known as power shot, but it's basically a shotgun, so you know, which does crazy damage. Drains a good amount of stamina, so be careful of that. And that's about all the moves. What? Oh, fine. There's another move, and you let down stones on a monster. It's surprisingly good at stunning monsters. Only problem is, this shit stones your teammates more. I swear to God, if you use this shit and it hits me, I hope you step on a Lego. Oftentimes, your teammates can easily get stunned by it, so be careful when you use it. The bow is a great range weapon, it's fun to use, and it feels overall cool, so if you want to use a range option, the bow is a good choice for you if you don't like bow guns.
While you might be fighting monsters, we still have America. This right here is purebred American technology. Now, this is little Timmy, Timothy for short, and this is Big Texas, my personal favorite one. You walk outside with your booty shorts and your nuts hanging out on the left side, and you show them damn monsters what it means to be a real American. Now, these two beauties are all kinds of different. Timmy, show what you got.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the knife.
Roses is red, violence is red, white, and blue.
With this sacred treasure I summon, Big Raga, the Op Stopper.
Now, these weapons of mass destruction has all parts of violence. You want some shield, you gonna put on the right shield and you go down 3 miles down the road and shoot that damn Discord moderator, kicked you out that damn GTA server. Show him that 9mm in the barrel, put some fast mags in the silencer on, you pop that motherfucker in the left nut. And that's what it's called to be a true American.
The switch axe. It's a very destructive weapon. At first, you might think it's just a giant axe. Yeah, I could like cut a big tree, but it can't be that destructive. To try the morphin option.
That's a knife.
That is definitely not an axe anymore. To know this meaner, with your sword, you'll be able to do something called a zero-sum discharge. Get your mind out of the gutter. This is where you get all your dopamine hits from. I am dead serious on that. The amount of dopamine we get from just pulling off this move. Remember, any challenges in life, you can always beat it with that zero-sum discharge. Taxes? Zero-sum discharge. Baby mama drama? Zero-sum discharge. Very simple weapon, but it's quite effective. Pick this weapon and you will feel like an absolute druggie from using the dopamine hits from this thing. And you look like a badass during the process. Honestly, switch axe is a phenomenal weapon. Let's say you may have a disagreement with a friend or have him up with something, and by chance you're a TikTok user. Send them this video, the long form content will kill them. Or even more, send them a video of any charge blade breakdown. The charge blade, such a fascinating weapon. To fully utilize this weapon, this is what you need to do. Find the circumference of the sun, find the age of consent limit for lolly lovers, divide the sea in half, preferably commit tax fraud, make the Arkham Knight subreddit sane. With no seriousness, the charge blade, while at first might seem complex, it's not that honestly complex. You just need to understand the core mechanics and you're good. To make it easier for you to understand this, I'll be explaining it in caveman terms. First, you charge your files with, charge attack. Deposit your files. Once your files deposit, charge shield. Shield is charged, you can charge sword. Turn big mode. In big mode, you have two options. Big explosion or small explosion. Do both explosions even without being in big mode. Repeat this process, and that's the charge blade. So the charge blade, honestly, a phenomenal weapon. And you may or may not miss some of your big explosions or small explosion. But once you hit them, it's like the great sword. Feel great. So grab that degree, grab that charge blade, and have fun. Except you arts degree students, you're not allowed. Go draw a good degree now. Let me ask you a question. Are you motivated? Or do you just like Demon Slayer? No matter the answer, you'll love the longsword. It's just how you perceive the longsword while playing it. Oftentimes, the longsword is seen as like a newbie weapon. However, it's a more of easy to get into, harder to master. Because once you master this thing, it just straight up opens your third eye. No kidding. Go search up a speedrun with this weapon and you'll see. This bar right here. Just know the higher it is, the better damage. Your moves, low slash, poke, side slash, bar builder that looks way too cool. Nani? Straight up anime at this point. That's just fucking anime. But it keeps my bar the same if I hit an attacking enemy. Almost feels like I'm playing Demon Slayer or something. The longsword is honestly amazing, and mastering this thing will just straight up make you feel like an anime character. So stick with this weapon if you just love the style. End up using iframes and flinching the heck out of your teammates. If you're only impressed with the lance but like explosions, well, here's the weapon for you. The gun lance. Just text 234 Lancer Boom today. We've got poke, shoot, penetration that explodes with bullets, and if you're out of ammo, just reload it. Finally, we have a very big explosion. Getting attacked, use your shield. So if you are in need for defense but with an explosive, contact the nearest workshop and get your gun lance today. The insect glaive. Don't worry, there aren't any spider mods, so arachnophobes you're fine. I couldn't find any. While at first you might just seem like the insect glaive only shoots bugs and you hit enemies on the ground with it, because you probably think the aerial attack is useless. But I have good news for you. Look closely. You see how when you turn out your bug and bring it back, you get those numbers light up? Your aim is to actually make it light up red, so you can truly become a government drone, also known as a bird. But it drains so much stamina.
Silence wedge.
Use constant and dash juice and time your attack. Note, get the red extract. Bug must attack the part of the monster that they used to attack. Obviously, it ain't the same for every monster. Just use your brain to figure it out and you'll be fine. Quick note, you can just straight up dive bomb with this thing. You can still get hit in the air though. And free from the flinch of dual blades and longsword users. So honestly, it's a good trade-off. So that's the insect glaive. Harness the power of the NBA to leap off the ground. Seriously, these hunters would be signed to the NBA so quickly. Stick with this weapon and you'll guarantee to have fun and get knocked on your ass when a monster decides to say, no. Remember this guy? This is him now. Feel old yet? The hammer is very efficient knocking out tool, so I better see you going for that head. So I best not be seeing you trying to cut off that tail, bro. Now, how does one use the hammer? You just hit someone in the head. It's really not rocket science, but if you're ready, you must know more. As simple as this. You see that charge ability? Hold it down, and then just hit attack button. Your hammer should be glowing. Make sure it's glowing at all times. You get a buff from it. Sacrifice your firstborn child if you must. And that's the hammer. It's relatively simple. All you really need to do is have good positioning. Always go for the head and know how to knock something good. If you love just straight KOing monsters, go for the hammer. It's your best shot, and you'll be able to. Hopefully, you should be able to shorten the attention span of these monsters so they become like TikTok kids with all that brain damage. Enjoy. Here's a thought. If you ever played a game, think of any game, you're on your last leg, you think you're about to lose, but like a call from God, a person just randomly joins your game, they may not have Japanese text as their username, beats the monster, and you feel well accomplished. That's how it feels like when a 101 player joins your lobby. While yes, the weapon has a small player base, but the very few who played, they excel at it. Personally, it's by far the most complex weapon. Sorry, charge blade users, your weapon isn't that complex, honestly. At its core, the Hondenorn plays songs that does buffs you and your team. These buffs are like really good, though it's different for each Hondenorn, so you have to memorize all these notes. But there'll be a UI up top to tell you all different notes. Once you've correctly put in the right notes and play it, you can actually upgrade those notes furthermore. Should always have self-improvement on, as it's a buff that only affects you, and depending on your hunting on, it can actually be a really good buff. So make sure to always have this on. Certain moves allow you to play more than one node at the same time, making it easier for you to input your notes. So get to know them and it'll be way more easier to actually play songs. Keep in mind some buffs like this one, your teammates have to walk over to actually get that buff. It's not really hard to miss though. Thunder is a very complex weapon to get used to and master, but once you do, your friends and your randoms will absolutely love having you on their team. Stick with this weapon and you show those monsters why you should not mess around with the white mage. And that's all weapons Australia has to offer. Obviously, I can't go over every weapon in full detail. I'd be here for hours. So Hunter, I hope you choose a weapon that suits you. If not, keep trying and experiment in the game. Experiment a lot in the game. It has a ton of replayability, so just give it a try. Go experience the world of Monster Hunter. Perfect time to get in the game now. The next Monster Hunter Wilds release 2025. So if you love Monster Hunter World, you're gonna love Wilds, and I'll be covering different weapons in more detail and other interesting stuff too. So for that, look out for those. One on the Iceborne DLC as well. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and leave us a